What's good, guys? I'm welcome to another episode of Mini Football Logic. It's Zeno here, and we're going to be talking about the Champions League final. Man City have done it. They finally won the Champions League. They've broken the oil curse, and not just that, they've completed a treble, the treble. Premier League, FA Cup, Champions League. No English team has done it since Manchester United in '99. End of the day, when they signed Haaland in the summer of last season, in the summer period of last season, a lot of people thought the game was over, and so it proved to be. They won almost everything there was to win apart from the EFL Cup, which is probably the weakest trophy that was available to them, and a trophy that they've won plenty of times. And yeah, anyways, back to the game. They beat Inter Milan by 1-0. But I'll tell you what, 1-0 is pretty much indicative of the way the game was. In fact, maybe Inter Milan should have gone more. Obviously, a lot of people pretty much wrote out Inter Milan. Obviously, the people that didn't want City to win were hoping for a miracle of some sort, because Inter Milan haven't been amazing this year. You know, as many of us might already know, Simone Inzaghi was one game away from being sacked. And he managed to turn it around, take them to 2 cup finals, and won one of the cup finals. Before this, he was 7 for 7 in finals. They were calling him the King of Cups, but not anymore. Maybe call him King of Italian Cups instead, you know what I'm saying? Because in this continental big one, he actually was able to deliver the goods, but unfortunately he wasn't able to win. Inter Milan came out pushing City. You can tell they came out with a plan, and that was to push them high, press them high, put pressure on them. Ederson looked shaky the whole game, fam. That's a fact. He looked shaky the whole game. And it was working. Inter Milan were putting the pressure on, and they were getting some half chances. And Dumfries was so high up, he looked like he was a winger. It was crazy. And yeah, Man City struggled with that because, of course, Man City is still City, so they still had most of the ball, still was controlling possession. But in that first half, a lot of people were caught surprised by Inter. But obviously, Man City came to this game the favourites after completely dismantling the defending champions previously in Real Madrid. So, of course, you know, they were favourites coming into this, but boy, Inter Milan put up a fight. They deserved more from this. In the second half, they continued to push. You know, I think the Barella chance happened in the first half. I think, yeah, it happened in the first half where he got the ball, it rolled to him, and it was an open goal. Wasn't able to put it in though. But in the second half, arguably Inter Milan's biggest chances started to occur. Lautaro Martinez was through. He should have passed the ball to Lukaku, but he went for glory himself. Of course, we'll get into Lukaku a bit later, but honestly, Man City's ball came across the box, fell to Rodri, and it's a peach of a finish. 2 clutch goals. You know, the one for against Bayern, sorry. Absolute scream of a goal, by the way. And then this goal as well. Key goals. It's ironic that he had to be the one to win the game for them because, of course, as we know, in the last time Man City reached the final, where they lost to Chelsea, you know, and De Bruyne obviously going off injured as well in both games, by the way. Not looking good for my guy in these big Champions League games, I can't lie to you. Nonetheless, Rodri obviously didn't start the last final they were in the Champions League. And of course, Pep made sure not to make that mistake again, because as we all know, Rodri is probably the most important player in that Man City team. You know, there's absolutely no doubt about that, and we can't argue it or, you know, dispute it. But really and truly, what it was for Man City is that their quality shone through in the end. Like, Inter Milan actually put on a better performance relative to their level compared to City did, but the quality is what got them through. Inter Milan continued to push and push and push. They even put Lukaku on, who did make a difference because now they can launch the ball to him, have a target man to deflect the ball off of, but he missed one key chance. I'm not going to say 2, because obviously the DeMarco chance, DeMarco hit the bar and the DeMarco headed the ball onto Lukaku's feet. Unfortunately, there's not much he could really do about that. It came off his feet. And of course, we're just going to clown Lukaku because he's done this before at the European finals, aka the own goal in the Europa League final a few years back against Inter, funnily enough, while playing for Inter against Sevilla, the most inevitable team in the Europa League, of course. Look at me struggling to say that damn word, but yeah. And then obviously he had the chance later on. headed it straight onto Ederson's knee. What was funny is that the BT Sport commentators were trying to say how much of a fantastic save that was. It was the ball just landed around his knee. Right place at the right time, of course, but Lukaku should have done a bit better with the header, And after hearing all the Megan Thee Stallion rumours that they might be dating and stuff, bit of a disappointment for him to come out there and play like there was no one to play for, But of course, we have to point out Lautaro Martinez too. He wasn't great either, but he has history of this. We saw what happened in the World Cup, So for him to have a stinker like this isn't a surprise. Haaland having a stinker ain't a surprise either, because in all of the big semi-finals and finals Man City have played this season, he hasn't scored a single goal. So there's a little weakness there for you, and that's something that might hurt his Ballon d'Or chances. He just hasn't turned up in these big games. He's just been shut off. This game, Acerbi pocketed him comfortably, It was even difficult, but you know how Italian teams are with the defending, very strong. But Man City do what all these big teams did. They took advantage of their luck. Ederson's poor distribution, and Inter Milan's fantastic play that allowed them to pressure them and pressure City into giving them opportunities, and they were unfortunately unable to take them. And of course, their quality shining through. After all, Man City have the stronger squad. We were all hoping for a miracle because, Inter Milan playing Brentford's system, the 3-5-2 with the 3 central mids. And we're hoping that, if Brentford can do the double over them, then why can't, Inter win this one game? But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And now we're all here having to deep the fact that Manchester City have won the treble. The question is, where they go from here. People are, Pep Guardiola is the first manager now to win the treble in 2 different clubs, in 2 different countries. There's only one record now, really, in English football that Man City under Pep hasn't touched, and that's the Invincible record. So Arsenal fans are probably low-key happy about this happening. I know one is. So at least there's something for Arsenal fans in that case, because that Invincibles record is very difficult, and in this day and age, it might be untouchable. But Man City, let's be honest, with the advantage they seem to hold in the market in general in football, even though it feels like that might be coming to an end, it's going to allow them to have a good shot at that record. We'll have to see what happens next season, because in this system that Pep has created, the 3-2-4-1, they just look unbeatable, undefeatable. But yeah, all in all, it wasn't an amazing game, but all 3 European finals haven't been this year with the Conference and Europa. They haven't been amazing games. Finals are always tight, cagey, nervy affairs, and this one proved to be. But of course, Inter Milan did step up and they really put on a test for City, but they found their way through, unfortunately. Nonetheless, I think I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and this might be my last match reaction for the whole 22-23 season, man. Everything else probably will be transfer news and new content, We'll have to see what happens. But hopefully, if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to like. And if you ain't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. For the YouTube guys, of course, if you're on Spotify and all the other audio platforms, be sure to, follow the podcast on whatever platform you're listening to. Either it would be Google, Apple, Spotify, of course. Anyways, I'm off.
Mini Laje.